Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now I know it has been a long while since I have been on here, but 2019, one of my big goals is to really get consistent with my YouTube channel and be putting out as much content as I can on here. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I would absolutely love to have you part of my YouTube fam. So if you're not already subscribed, please hit subscribe below. And if you have been already subscribed, then hello and welcome back. Today's video, I did want to do a little bit of a life update because a lot has gone on in the last 6 months, and I am also going to do a bit of a Q&A. So let's get to it. Now, I think the last videos I was posting were around my powerlifting meet. I actually put up a video on this about the day, so if you haven't already watched it, you can click here to watch it. And so since that, I did a 8-week prep. Now that was for the WBFF World Titles. Now, 8 weeks wasn't a lot of time to bring my body from a powerlifter to a bikini diva, and I'm very, very happy to tell you guys that I won that show and I was crowned WBFF Bikini World Champion. It still kind of sounds really surreal to me, and it was such an amazing experience as well. The show was over in Vegas, and then I traveled a fair bit after that show. I've also been really focused on my LSF business. Now, it has been absolutely incredible, the response that we've had over the last year and the community that we are building behind my online coaching programs, and I'm very grateful to be working with so many women all around the world. We just launched my biggest challenge ever, which is SAS 3.0. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's progress on that. I also have launched my LSF Babes tours. Now, last year I did Sydney, and most recently, only in the last couple of weeks, I did my Melbourne event, which was absolutely incredible. And we've got Adelaide very soon, and then I also am heading to America. Now, I will be doing LA and New York, so that will be potentially happening in early May, and I'm going to vlog a lot of my travels this year, so expect to see more of me out and about and more about my daily life on here. So again, if you have any ideas or any suggestions, then leave them below. Okay guys, so on to the fun stuff, the Q&A. How did you get the scar on your stomach? Okay, so this is a really popular question, and I get asked this a lot. Maybe I'll show you my scar. For those who don't know, you can see it a little bit. I've got a scar on my belly that goes from here to here. So my scar is from when I was young. I was only 1 year old. From a surgery, I had to remove a Wilms tumor, which I had on my left kidney. So I went through chemotherapy and everything like that when I was a child. It doesn't really impact anything that I do. I just have to make sure, obviously, that I do drink a lot of water, because the kidneys are responsible for flushing out toxins from our bodies. For me personally, my scar has also always been one of my biggest insecurities. When I was growing up, it was something that I was quite self-conscious of. I remember I didn't used to wear like your 2-piece bikini. I would always wear a 1-piece because I didn't want the other kids to see it. But now, for me, my scar now is a sign of strength, and it doesn't faze me at all. And I'm actually really proud to show it off, and I hope that me being more open about that, it helps other people to see that you don't have to be afraid or hide these things that you might think are an imperfection to you. Are you dating? So, the juicy question that probably everyone wants to know. The answer is yes. I am currently dating Mark Carroll, and we have been together for the last couple of months, and everything has been amazing, and I'm very happy. So yeah, there's your answer. Favorite travel destination? So for me, this would have to be either Maldives or Bali. Now, both are beautiful. I am someone who loves hot, tropical, summery destinations. What is your favorite cheat meal? For me, I absolutely love going to something like sushi. And no, I don't just eat the super healthy sushi like sashimi. I like the sushi that is like chicken schnitzel covered in cheese and sauce. Delish. I also really like going for Mexican, and what else do I like? Oh, frozen yogurt. Let's not forget frozen yogurt. I have probably an unhealthy obsession with frozen yogurt. If I ever do feel like something sweet, that will be my number one thing to have. What are my thoughts on intermittent fasting, and have I ever tried this? Okay, so for those who don't know, intermittent fasting is basically just a way that we disperse our calories. It is a calorie partitioning strategy, so it is just a way of eating, I guess. Now, it can be beneficial when you are trying to lose weight, as it does condense your eating hours. So for me personally, when I tried it, I think my first meal was around 10 and I ate up until 6, and then so the rest of the time I just fasted. When I was dieting down, it was good because it meant that my meals were bigger because I ate in a smaller time frame, so it did leave me feeling more satisfied and fuller for longer. But I did want to point out that even though you are fasting or you're doing intermittent fasting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get greater fat loss results, because at the end of the day, if you are hitting the exact same calories in that 24-hour window as what someone else who is eating more frequently and not doing intermittent fasting, you're going to get the exact same results, because it does come down to the amount of calories that you are eating for the same day. So if you're hitting those, then there's going to be no difference. What is my daily makeup routine? Good question. I get asked this a lot. So for me, I don't actually like wearing a lot of makeup during the day. I prefer wearing nothing on my skin. So I did actually put a little bit of makeup on for this video. I thought I better make an effort since it was my first time coming back. But every single day, all I really wear, I am a huge fan of big lashes. Big lashes are a must for me. I will wear lashes, a little bit of eyeliner on top, and I also fill in my brows, which I have had microbladed before. And I only had them done recently, but I do still just fill them in a little bit. I don't wear anything on my skin during the day. I just prefer it to have nothing on there. I do go to the gym, obviously, and I do walk outside. So I just prefer, especially if I'm sweating, to not have anything on my face. And I find that that really helps with my skin. I do just want to point out that if you do want to wear makeup every day, then that is absolutely your personal choice. So don't, just because I don't, doesn't mean that you all of a sudden don't. Would I go keto? So the answer for this one for me is a no. Carbs are life for me. I love my carbs, so I don't really want to be taking them out of my diet. Now, carbs are not the enemy, girls. So many of you think that if you remove carbs from your diet, you're automatically going to lose all this fat, when it's not the case. You don't need to remove food groups. You don't need to overly restrict yourself to get results. To lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, whether that deficit is created through having less carbs or less fats, it doesn't really matter. What matters is being compliant to this diet and finding what works for you. If you feel better eating lower carbs, then go for it. If you feel better eating lower fats, then go for it. But what I think for me, the biggest thing is finding something that is sustainable. And that is why, especially with my coaching, I don't coach on extremes. It's more of a balanced approach. If you do want to go keto and that works for you, then go for it. If you want to have high carbs and that works for you, then go for it. At the end of the day, if you're hitting the same calories, if you are keto or not, you're going to get the same result. What is your favorite exercise and why? I'll give you two, my top two exercises. Number one would have to be squats. I absolutely love feeling strong, and I do structure a lot of my training around getting strong with the major lifts. Squats has been something that I don't know, maybe had a knack for, because it is one of those things that I am quite naturally strong at. Now, my favorite exercise number two is hip thrusts, because I am all about building that booty. There are so many different variations that you can do, so I always try to incorporate at least one of the variations, whether it be like a Smith machine hip thrust, barbell hip thrust, single leg B stance hip thrust, whatever it may be, or different methods with their rep ranges and tempos. So usually on my glutes hamstring days, they will focus around squats and hip thrusts. How many years have you been training? So I have been I've always been really sporty and active growing up. I have been very consistent now in the gym from around 2014. I started off just doing classes, so like Body Attack, Body Pump, those group fitness classes. And I think around 2015, I really got serious in the weights room and started actually training properly and learning, I guess, how to lift weights properly. And that's also when I got a coach. And so that is really where I started my journey with health and fitness and really getting into it. That's also when 2015 is the year that I first did my first ever fitness competition. How are you always so motivated? Okay, so for me, I'm not always motivated. Now, don't get me wrong, I show a lot on my social media with me training really hard every day, and I show you my healthy meals, but that does not mean that I'm on point 24/7. That's not the case. There are days where I don't want to go to the gym. There are days where I don't want to eat healthy. There are days where I just want to lay in bed. So if I ever have these off days, what I do is just really accept it and move on. You should know that not every day is going to be perfect, but what I am is consistent. I am consistent with my eating habits, and I'm consistent with my efforts in the gym, and it is those small efforts that add up every single day that will lead you to your goals. Now, I don't let, say, one bad day turn into a bad week or turn into a bad month. Okay, so that wraps up this YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching. I will do another Q&A installment, so we'll call this number 1, coming up very, very soon. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on my next videos. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you please do, and there'll be plenty more coming for you all. So thank you again, guys. Much love to you all.